Hello there! It is good to meet you. I am Dr. Banana, PhD. Please don't forget my doctor credentials. I spent 7 years in banana school to get those. I worked very hard. And welcome to my Minecraft world. This is my first ever Minecraft Let's Play, and I'm so excited to show you this world that I've been working on for about 3 years now. And the theme of this world is medieval kingdom medieval style kingdom. So we are going to be playing on this world until the second part of the 1.17 update, mainly because the part 2 of the 1.17 update grants a whole bunch of different world generation updates, and that's going to be radically different. And since I've had this world for quite some time now, I wouldn't want to travel thousands upon thousands of blocks in order to find this new generation. So it just makes sense to start a new world. But in the meantime, I'm going to be showing you this one, and I'm going to lead this into the 1.17 update. So I'm very excited. So let me give you a little tour. As you can see, I am a banana. I am a Dr. Banana. Let me take off my skin so I can show you my lab coat. And when things do get serious, if I can find it, I put on my glasses for extra science and extra research purposes, but I don't need them right now, so let me take this off. Let me know if you prefer the look of the glasses better or not. So let me show you around. But this is my original starting area. This isn't spawn. I flew hundreds of miles away, or hundreds of blocks away from spawn, because this is a little bit more of a desirable area. But as you can see, there are some buildings around here, and let me take you through them. So this, I'm pretty sure, was my first ever build on this world here. I didn't really know what I was doing with the medieval style. I mean, I had a brief idea. Kind of went with the stone on the bottom and the, this is the white terracotta to kind of replicate that white stucco or white rock, whatever they used back in the day. But I mean, considering this is my first time trying this, I think about 2 years ago, I did okay. And I eventually made a second building, which isn't here anymore. I actually tore it down and upgraded this one. And there was another building over there, which I tore down and upgraded as well. My building skill has increased slowly over time, and so I wanted to showcase that, especially in this world. I spent a lot of time over in this side of this world, because this right here is my granary and my bakery that I just made. And so this is where I get all of my food. And this one is the smokehouse, or the meat shack, or whatever, where I keep all of the meat stuff from these guys here. So I got all of my pigs, all of my cows, a loose chicken, all of my chickens over here. But I don't think that's what you're most interested in. Since you're seeing this area, let me show you the more interesting builds. Let me show you the entire view from in front of the granary. I love it. I spent quite some time really working on the aesthetic of this place. And I don't have any ladders up there yet to be able to cross, so I'm going to go over this way and show you the granary. Now, I had no idea what to do for the granary style in the medieval theme. You know, a lot of the buildings that you look up on like YouTube or Google for medieval style, I mean, they're all quite similar. I mean, they're all pretty intricate and detailed, but there's nothing specific for like a granary or bakery, and that's what I really wanted. And so I thought I ventured out of style a little bit to make it more distinct, and I happened to find a YouTube video that had a Japanese style bakery, and I just fell in love with it, and it was lovely. So I decided to increase the scale, I think by like a factor of 4, to really make this interesting thing. And let's go around the side where I show you all of my little plants and everything on my crops. So I have the melons and pumpkins, and you probably heard a click not too long ago, as you can see, there's some stuff under there. So what I have, let me show you here. Let me pop on down. Little pro tip, if you waterlog a chest, you can fall right on top of it, and you won't take any damage. But this is my automatic farm for the melons and the pumpkins, which is pretty neat. I can explain how everything works later on if you guys are interested, but I'll come right out of the bubble elevator. So the automatic system collects it and it drops it into these chests, which is pretty nice. I've been meaning to collect a lot of the melon and pumpkins so that I can trade with villagers for more goodies. This is my automatic bone mealing station with some extra seeds and whatnot, so I don't have to collect them all. I got my reeds over here, or sugarcane technically. My cactus over here. My potatoes. The carrots, the beetroots. I don't eat a lot of these foods. I already have so much. And I have 2 huge fields of wheat. I think it looks nice, and I also use wheat a lot. But I don't use it enough to where I need an automatic system like the other one, so I think that is okay. And let me show you the inside of the bakery. I've walked around long enough. Let's go in through the front. And this right here is mainly for aesthetic. I'm not going to harvest anything. I like the look of it. It looks really nice. But let's go inside of the bakery. This is one of my favorite builds. One of the newer builds that I've made. As you can see, there's like wooden beams. You can do that with stairs. And I just love being able to kind of populate a build, make it look kind of lived in. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me show you this little display case. I learned it on that YouTube video that I saw. I'll probably leave a link down below, but look at this little bread in the basket. It's beautiful. So this is actually coral. This is a yellow coral block on a waterlogged stair. And that's how you're able to get coral and keep the color without it dying. So let's go on in. And you can see my little displays with my cookies and everything. So you're probably wondering how I do this for some of you who've been playing Minecraft a little bit. So I actually use a lot of different plugins and a lot of different texture packs from the vanilla tweaks. I love how it's not too different from vanilla. It keeps the theme and the style of vanilla, but it just adds so much more on top of it. And so this is my kitchen here. So I try to do some texture variation. Probably couldn't even tell until I pointed it out, but yeah, I just love it. So with the Vanilla Tweaks resource pack that I'm using, you probably noticed if I open my inventory, I use a dark UI. I prefer this so much more than the regular UI. It's a lot easier on the eyes. It's quite lovely. So I use that, and I use the Armor Stand resource pack so I could be able to make some displays like this. So these are invisible armor stands locked into place that are holding these cookies that make a beautiful little cookie display. It's quite some time to set up, but I think it's totally worth it. And so this is where I keep all of my stuff here. These are the main things that I'll be using. Mainly for food, I use golden carrot. I trade the villagers for them. But this is a lot of my food overflow, some bread such and cookies, and some more decor. Little chair areas. If we go upstairs, I have yet to really work on upstairs, and I'm going to get to it pretty soon, but we have some gorgeous balcony seating areas. We have a great view of the lake, of the front crops there, but also this beautiful building that I put over here. This is probably one of my most unique buildings that I've made. This is the Lumberyard. As you can see, there are all types of woods and logs, and I have stripped variants, and I just love it. It's gorgeous, and I'll have to show you that building. I've spent a lot of time working on the details and the decor. So that was the bakery, and now let me show you the lumberyard over behind me over there. Oh, excuse the floating chests. I just finished adding a lot of decor and items in there, and I was cleaning up my chest monsters, and I don't really have good places for a lot of these things. What I like to do for a lot of my resources is I like to make completely unique buildings that house these resources. So that's the main reason why I made this granary slash bakery, why I made that lumberyard, and a lot of these different buildings. Because I really try to populate this area, make it feel like an actual kingdom. Because if I'm spending a lot of time here, you know, why not? I kind of like to do that rather than having a one unified storage system, because those can be really cool, but I find that you spend most of your time just in that storage system, in just one building. So why not, you know, split up your resources around the world so that you can really visit every part of it. And so let me go ahead and show you the lumberyard and the rest of the kingdom. This is going to be a little tour. I do apologize for my very loud keyboard. You could probably hear the keys clicketing and clacketing in the back. I'll probably have to invest in a very nice quiet keyboard to make these recordings a little bit more sound friendly. But as we take a look. I love this building. I really try to challenge myself to make something quite unique and interesting, while also showcasing every single type of wood. At least that's available at the moment. So we have the nether woods that were just added, the warped wart, crimson wart, and all types of wood along the outside where you can see them, and that's where they'll be stored. So let's go ahead and take a little look. As you can see, I try to add some texture variation here. I'm a little bit new to that. But here it is. I had so much fun making this build. It's multi-story, and I tried to really have a great theme in here. There's a little tool rack with the armor stand plugin. But I am very happy with how it turned out. I just love the little noises, the sounds that walking on these warped wart makes. It's amazing. Try to make these little shelves here, showcase every type. It is kind of hard to get a large amount of these guys because, you know, their leaves don't despawn, so you have to manually clear them out. And so I think I am quite low on these guys compared to everything else, but it just looks gorgeous. So I had to put this shelf over here. I'm also taking advantage of the mini blocks from the the Vanilla Tweaks resource pack and plugin pack, so I can have mini blocks around the world, and I'm collecting them as well. So if we take a little look, you can see little tools and the mini blocks, like a little workstation, like you're working on it, and so that's a lot of fun. I have every wood type around here, try to create a unified theme, which is pretty nice, while also keeping it nice and distinct. So this is a rudimentary little farm I try to make for the type of warped trees. I'm not very good at making farms. That's something I'm going to try to improve on. But let's take a little look at this thing here. I just love it. I tried to make it look like these were being raised and lowered, like you are loading up your resources to be transported to the top deck, the top level. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. And so a lot of this is overflow. So if I get a whole bunch of wood, which I really have to grind for because I don't have any farms at the moment, but if I get a whole bunch, I could just store it up here. But as we can see, the different levels of these little racks here, like they're transporting some goods and items. So if we go like this, that'll make it so much easier to unload it, you know, provided you can actually do it like that. Of course, this is just for decor. And love using these little details to make it look like wheels, like they're really just adding so much life to this. Now, I've learned a lot from the Hermitcraft YouTubers on how to decorate. I've really tried to spend these past, few months improving my decoration skill. That's Mega Tree! So you do this, or at least I do it, by growing a whole bunch of trees on top of one another. This is some sort of a tradition I've had for most of my Minecraft world, just making a mega tree, because why not? Okay, and actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this might be the very first structure I've ever had in this world. This is my masonry, where I keep all of my stone types. As you can see, there are villagers around. I try to populate this entire world with villagers to make it actually feel lived in, which is pretty nice. So these are all of my masons. You can see the little workstation up here. Readily accessible stone cutters to be able to work with stone. Most of these chests are actually empty. I don't have that much stone, but I might in the future. And these guys, these iron golems, they spawn everywhere. They're basically like pests on here. Pests, not pets. I mean, of course they could be considered pets. But as part of their resource pack that I have, I wanted to have their little red flowers instead of the yellow, since they give poppies and drop poppies. I think it makes a little bit more thematic sense. And over here is a lot of the terracotta and such. There's a mesa biome way over there, so I'm able to get a whole bunch of this terracotta to use in these builds. And I'm starting to play around with concrete. I haven't really used concrete before. I wouldn't know if they really work well with this style, but I'm trying some new stuff. And all my dirt and such. I have so much dirt. You've probably seen this thing in the background. Let me go ahead and show you this thing. So, this is my iron golem spawner. Or my iron golem farm, more accurately. As you can see, it's a big pumpkin. So the reason why I wanted to go with the big pumpkin is because you can actually create these iron golems, most of you know, with some iron and a carved pumpkin right on top. So you make an iron in a little T-form pumpkin right on top. It creates a iron golem. So that's kind of the theme I was going for. These villagers see this guy, spawns an iron golem up there, falls into the little death chamber, and I get to be iron. So I never have to worry about iron. Some people think that this is cheating, but the devs, the developers of Minecraft do not want it removed. They think it's an integral part of gameplay. And I think so too. It really takes time away from mining and mining on that grind just to get iron, and it allows you to focus on other parts of the game. We have a little bee here. So I had this world before they added the bees, and so there are no natural bees in this entire world. So I had to create my own bees. How do you do that? Well, if you're in a forest or a flower forest or a plains biome, there's a small chance that if you grow a tree or a tree grows by itself, then a beehive will summon next to it. So I did that over and over and over again until I got enough bees, and I'm very excited. That's currently something I'm working on right now, is creating a whole bunch of bees. So once we're done with this little tour, I'll show you all of my bees. So that is my fuel building. I'll show you that in a second, but first this is the forge. So some of these buildings are quite old, and you can tell with the building style. Some of them are a little bit more plain or slightly unfinished. But this is the forge, where I work on putting a lot of my ores, where I have my industrial smelters, where this is where I keep my all of my iron from my iron farm. So quite a bit. Oh, hello. And my gold, I had a gold farm until they upgraded the nether, and then I decided to reset the nether so I can get all of the goodies while still keeping this world. This is where I keep all of my tool overflow. Now I have, as you can see, netherite items and also diamond, and these are all mending, so I don't really need tools specifically, but what I'm playing on is actually a realm, and I invited a few friends on there, so sometimes they play with me, and for the newer people, I just give them tools, so, you know, why not? And a lot of these are actually drops from villagers. After you complete a raid, you get hero of the village, and they just throw you a whole bunch of stuff. So some of the, I think the smithing and the grindstone villagers, they just throw you some tools. And so instead of throwing them away, I just kept them, and I have a lot of my overflow tools. And I also keep some ores as well for decor, probably in the future, some nether gold ore as well. But let me go ahead and show you the fuel building. So this is my fuel building. As you can see here, this is where I keep all of my fuel sources in there. And this building has been recently renovated as my building skill has been improved, and I try to make it a little bit more dark, more industrial. So if you go on inside, I took advantage of using the new nether blocks, so like the black stone, the warped wart, and the basalt, and I just love it. If we go inside, it's nice and dark and grim. We have my lava pool. This is meant to symbolize the, the industry, the smelting and everything. I do have some industrial smelters in here, but this is where I keep all of my fuels, so like lava buckets and such, and all of my coal and everything. I think I have coal blocks over here, and coal ore for decor if I want to do anything. I'll probably be having bamboo in here, and also kelp blocks in the future. And so for some of you that don't know, lava buckets make great fuel sources. They burn 100 items in the furnace. To take advantage of that, you should have a hopper on top of the furnace, constantly feeding it items, and a hopper below, constantly taking out the items. And that will allow you to maximize your efficiency while cooking all of the stuff using the lava bucket. This ugly thing is my monster spawner here, and this dark unfinished thing here, that is my nether portal area. I was going to make a big dark cathedral, but, I kind of burned out on that. And so, let me get my bed. It's a little dark over here. But I just love this area. Oh, let me go up on the viewing platform to show you guys around. It's a gorgeous area. I love it. It's beautiful. You have a great view of the plants right here, of the crops, and I'm starting to create some docks around this water edge. And maybe put some boats and everything and create a little fishing village, because that's the ocean right over there, and that'd be so nice. So let me have a sleep and show you that building first. So So the one type of gameplay adjustment I play on this world is I play with game mode, keep inventory true. What that means is that if you die, you keep all of your items. Now, that's a little controversial. Some people think that's cheating. I don't judge if you do, that you're probably correct. However, I've been playing on this for quite some time, and I wasn't a very good Minecrafter about 2 years ago when I started, and so, the act of losing all of my stuff just seems so punishing to me, and I just don't want to continue playing that, having to lose all my stuff and get all of it back and everything, and a lot of people I play with are a little bit newer too, and it just keeps it a lot easier, and so I play with keep inventory true on, so when I die I keep all of my stuff. I think since my skill has improved so much, I'm going to keep that off in the new world I'll be making in a few months, just to add a little bit more complexity, because I do play on hard difficulty on this world, because I feel like I can handle that. But now that we're here in our stables, let me show you around. These are all of the horses I was able to find by going far away, because I think I generated this world before horses. So these are all the horses that I have here so far. I think they're named if I'm able to find the name tags. Oh, maybe not. I thought I named these guys. But as you can see, some of them have armor. I try to give them hay, just to create this nice little aesthetic here. And in these chests, this is where I keep all of my saddles and my horse armor as well. I have so many of them. You can get so many of these when you complete raids. If you kill the Ravagers, you get a saddle, which is really cool. Here's all the horse armor that I have from plundering all of the depths of this world and getting all of the loot. I did have a few donkeys, but before I got my Elytra from the end cities, I would use the donkeys and put a chest on their back to roam around this entire city. And that's how I get around and transport all of my goods. And that was also probably before shulker boxes, so that made transporting goods a lot easier. And that's one of the reasons why I made such good path infrastructure in this world. I mean, probably not on this area, but on the rest of the area you'll see a lot of these paths that are nice and wide and easy to traverse, so that I can get around on my donkey quite easily. And see, these are some of the wandering trader llamas. I think I named them too. Where are the signs? Oh no, I thought. Oh no, these guys are named. So we got Inca, and Cusco. Seemed fitting since a lot of the llamas are from South America, so I try to keep that theme. And that's probably the theme that I'll be having for my next world, is going to be kind of around this same era. But I'm going to try to incorporate more styles from that era. So like Incan style and Aztec style. I know those people are just so fascinating, and they're not in the public eye as much as the other type of European architecture and structure is. Let's go inside here. This is nothing too impressive. I haven't really upgraded or updated any of this in quite some time. Oh goodness, I think there might have been a thunderstorm. That's also something I'm very looking forward to in the future as well, is getting copper in the new update to be able to make those lightning rods to prevent this from happening. I've lost so many houses made out of wood due to fire from lightning strikes. So that will be a welcome addition. And I've cleared some of this dark forest area because I think I'm going to create the new smokehouse just right in this plot and just make this area a little bit more interesting with the animals. So as we're going down this dark forest path right here, over to the dark cathedral. And I haven't finished it. I just got so many projects in this world. But if you go inside, we have the very large nether portal and a chest to store my items. Big old chest monster over here. So I have a lot of the blackstone and everything. And raided some of the gilded blackstone from a lot of the piglin structures. I forgot what it's called. The bastion remnants. That's what they are. This is probably the rarest item in the game. One of the rarest ones. Even more rare and more prized than netherite itself. Because those spawn so few and far between. And as you can see, I have little hoppers around here going into chests. What this does is that if I'm spending a lot of time in the nether, of course you can just throw items into the portal and they'll go on the other side. And this here collects all of the items and funnels it into a chest for safekeeping later so I can spend more time in the nether. Now, I set a lot of this stuff up before I really had an ender chest, before I had shulker boxes and everything. And because I had never done it before, and I never really thought I really needed to, but until I did, I am so grateful because it makes storing and organization so much easier. Oh, these are all of my little heads here. I was just trading with a villager not too long ago. At least I think. Is this... Yeah, these are all my heads. I have quite a bit. Or these are the mini blocks from the Wandering Trader. I try to collect them as much as possible. But let's take a little look-see. You probably wonder what those are here. Oh, this is my friend's, one of my best friend. He plays with me. This is his massive build here. He's quite new to Minecraft, but I just love his very unique style of what he's going for. Once we get towards that area, I'll give you a nice shot over there. As you can see, there are a lot of torches around here to prevent mob spawning, but they do look kind of ugly. So what I'm trying to do is really light up the area with these beautiful lamps and with hidden light sources, like there's a little jack-o'-lantern right there, hidden with some carpet. I try to use jack-o'-lanterns since they are renewable resources. And then they're hidden in the base of the trees too. These trapdoors do let out some light, so that's how I'm able to light up the area without putting torches everywhere, or reduce the amount of torches. Now, I try to put maps everywhere to show where exactly you are. You are here, right about there. Because a lot of people that I play with, they find this world to be just so massive, and they get lost quite easily. So I try to put maps, maybe have some directions as well. There's another map over there. Kind of make it a little bit more easy, but of course you can still get lost in this gargantuan world. Let's take a little look at these guys here. There's at their little bell meeting place. And these are the home of all the masons. Of course, there are some fishermen because there's barrels. And there are some farmers. And I put little farming stations so that they can be able to breed on their own and really populate these worlds here. These are just very simple housing units here with the beds. I put a lot of these things here because these guys just spawn so much. They won't stop spawning. So try to reduce the spawning availability area because it gets quite out of hand sometimes. But let's go take a look at everything else. Up here is the Fletchery. Let's take a little run up here, where I keep all of my bows, arrows, and crossbows. Oh, there's one of my donkeys. A relic from the past. Let's take a little look at what you got here. You know, just simple stuff. But yeah, I'd ride these guys everywhere. That's how I would keep all of my items on me. But this is my little shade for this little target practice game. And I'm so very excited about this. Let's see. Ooh, nice. First try. And I try to incorporate a lot of the new target blocks there. And of course it gets progressively harder as we go along here. You can see I missed it. There we are. And these wooden button ones are the harder ones. Let's see. Oh, got it. Nice. I could be here all day playing this game. And I think the very last one over there, that one is the absolute hardest to do. But when you do, there is some firework launcher back there to show that you won the game. But let's go up here. This is the Fletchery. I try to keep it its own unique style, incorporate some of the acacia, because why not? And I can't wait for these to have their own functionality. They don't as of yet, but hopefully soon. Maybe in the next update, after the 1.17 update. And that will give us more uses. I keep all of my bows and arrows. I do have a skeleton farm here for XP and drops. And I have so many of these bows and arrows. Let's go up here, and this is where I keep all of the crossbows. I love these little floating lamps. It gives life to this area. But these are where I keep all of my crossbows. I don't really make any. These are the ones I get from the raids. Really got to be careful with the raids here since there's so many villagers everywhere. But this is another area to try out the mini game with crossbows. Oh, there is the textiles and shepherds area. I'm excited about that. Let me go ahead and show you that. Let's go down here. There's so many things to show you. I've been on this world for quite some time. I really try to make it feel populated here. These guys are everywhere. It's crazy. But these are where I keep the housing for the Fletchers. On this natural hill formation, I try to keep the style of it and make these little hill houses. And also try to create this diagonal houses. You'll see them every once in a while. And this one on stilts too. Really preserve the hill. But these were so interesting to make. And it adds a lot of variation to it. Try to give them some nice, beautiful paintings here. And then this beautiful fireplace with a chimney out front. Oh, very nice. Let's get this out of bed. Here, let me go to sleep. And so these guys will breed on their own to fill up the beds, which is pretty nice. This is their little area. A little path. And let's go this way. I'll show you everything down there too. Look at that. This is another building from my best friend. He made these little monster shops because he owns that little monster spawner there, little monster drop collector, and he sells them in their representative shops, and I just love the type of style he's able to bring to this world. And everyone else, whoever I invited into this world to build, they just have their own unique style. Really populates this place, makes it feel lived. Oh, look at this hallway here. This is where I've been trying out a lot of my little building styles, but nice little details. This is where I keep all of my multicolored sheep here. They're all readily accessible if I ever need to build a lot with wool. I mean, I don't really, but it's nice to have the option here. And of course, these jack-o'-lanterns are a very cheap light source, and it gives us some character. But as you can see, these sheep do eat the grass a lot. So what I do here is I have an automatic grass replacement. So that's very cool. So they will actually eat the tall grass instead of this regular grass, and that will prevent it from getting totally destroyed. However, unfortunately, they don't eat the very tall grass. They just eat this grass here. And also, they don't eat flowers, so every once in a while I have to kind of break these guys out. Kind of clear the area so that they can continue to eat. But I have every type of sheep, every color of sheep in here, and these are all wired up with this mechanism, which I think is just so cool. I love the look of that. But over here is probably one of the first times I tried to incorporate texturing into my builds, as you can see, and I think it just gives it so much more age and life into it. I'm very happy with how I've progressed and come. But let's take a little look at this. Ooh, there's this guy here. Oh man, he has some mini blocks in his arsenal here. Oh, I could spend so long trading with this guy flying around everywhere, but right now we are showcasing this world. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. Great for a newer Minecrafter. That's amazing. But let's go inside here. This is where I keep all of the types of wool colors. And it is gorgeous. This is another one of the buildings that I had to renovate. Because the building before it is quite large, a little bit boring. It kind of it was a little eyesore, and it took away a lot of the view that my friend had. So I decided to reduce the footprint and increase the complexity and style, and it's all the more better for it. But yeah, let's go take a look at the rest of it. I know you can see the cathedral in the distance. That's one of the ones I'm most excited about. So I'll go ahead and show you that in a second. But this is a nice, beautiful little area here. We got this guy defending the little lake. And this is the shepherd's housing. I don't think they actually live in here. They don't like it. I think they like to hang out with the Fletchers. Take a little look here. Oh, there is a shepherd. I didn't know that they were over here. And some little paneling so that you don't see dirt. Another sideways house, really challenging myself here. But let's take a look at this cathedral. Now I found a little design template for it on Reddit, I'm pretty sure. But it was gargantuan, and so I really decreased the style so I can really focus on creating a beautiful building. So let's take a little look on the inside. As you can see, the very high vaulted ceilings with the arches I am very proud of. It took me quite some time to really figure that out, but I think it was well worth it. It really just draws the eye forward and gives it so much grandiosity and height. So this is where I keep all of my books and enchanted items. So I think this is great for the theme of the cathedral. As you can see, I have my glazed terracotta here. And I try to add some texture variation as well. After I've already built this, really adding some texture gives it some life and some age. So this thematically is like where you get your divine powers and your divine knowledge, and you put it in these books. And so these are where all of my books are. my enchantment books. And I have yet to finish this building. A lot of these buildings here are unfinished, but I'm excited to really add some more detail into this with the new blocks that are coming in the 1.17 update. I'm so excited. There's some housing underneath here for these guys. It's kind of boring. I don't really need to show that. But also I have my enchantment station over here as well. And I really like that these guys are walking around. It makes it feel lived in. This is my Armoury. Now, our Armoury is another one of the buildings that I try to really detail. I really challenge myself on, and I'm quite happy with it. So let's take a little look on the inside of the Armoury. As we can see, this is where I keep all of my items here. None of these things are labeled because I'm still changing everything. I'm still finding what works, but this is where I keep all of my gold drops here. It's pretty nice. And you can see a little workbench here that is working on this golden helmet. I love using armor stands and things. It's pretty awesome. It gives it more detail. And some more industrial smelters here, and these guys are walking around everywhere. And let's take a look on the upstairs region there. So we go upstairs. This is where I keep all my leather. This is the tannery on the upper deck, the upper floor. And I love this little detail here. I have so much from all my cows that you saw earlier. And some dyed armors over on, that side. I haven't really played with dyed armor yet, but maybe we can do that in the future. If we have some more people on here, we're going to be playing some games. That'll be pretty nice. So that is my personal kingdom, or my castle that I've been working on. It is a work in progress. It is unfinished. That's mainly the outer buildings of it. You can see my scaffolding there. I'm still working on it, but I've been playing on this for so long, and I don't have my own castle. I'm the king of this world, and I don't have my castle yet, so it's a little embarrassing, but that is underway. So let's take a little look at everything else. But let's take a look at these guys here. These are the villager housing for the cathedral. And also the cartography, which I'll show you in a second. So, yeah, these where all these guys stay. I try to put these a little bit underground so that I don't obscure the view to everything else while inside of the cathedral. And so here is their little meeting station here. Been trading with these guys, getting some goodies. Another sideways building. Been trying to make this. It's a little hard to make these sideways building look kind of okay, but I think I did a good job. Should I play with elevation as well? That's something I've been trying to work on. Because, sometimes it's so easy to really clear flat levels and build all of your buildings on a very flat plane, but by incorporating it on multiple levels, you just give it just so more detail and depth, and it just looks so much nicer. So this is my cartography building. I'm excited about this one. Let's go on the inside. Of course, it's a little blank, but on all of these walls, I'm going to put a lot of different types of maps. But as we see over on here, we see this gargantuan map wall, which is so cool. This is labeled as the, well, not currently labeled, but I call it the map of current. So I update these maps frequently, and it shows the entirety of its kingdom, of this kingdom that I have here. And this one over here, oh, hello there. I don't think these guys can get down once they go up there, so they're just stuck. Poor guys. But this is the map of old. I should have dated when I made this, but this showcases a map of the kingdom from a long time ago. And so as we can see, we have the older buildings. So this is the old lumberyard that I made, that I recently renovated, and the old granary that I made. It wasn't even a bakery, it's just a granary. And all of the pathing, as you can see that I do here. So a lot of the buildings have been here for quite some time, but I've added a lot more too, and that's the old Fletchery, or not old Fletchery, old textile building as well. And I've also changed the layout of the nether area. So this world is constantly being updated and constantly in flux. But as you can see, here's the new and updated one, and there are the new buildings. That just looks so cool. Look at that. And that is my friend's base, and it just looks so imposing and foreboding. It's just so neat, all of that lava. Yeah, a lot of the new buildings are here. This is the template for my castle. It's going to be quite massive. And I have a lot to work on, as you can see, but there's going to be a central ring area here. And maybe like this like crystal right in the center to kind of give it a little bit more lore and mystery. But you can see this right here, this object. This is a upside down boat where my fishing market is. And I'll show you that in a second. But this is my cartography area, which I think is quite neat. Let's get out of this rain in a second. But this is my greenhouse, technically. I just love the little details I'm able to put here. All of these leaves like looking like it's overgrown. I've yet to do this side. But I love using these little decorations here. These chain blocks, a great addition to the game. Makes making these little stands, these little floating shelves, so lovely. This is where I keep all of my green stuff, like these saplings and the leaves and everything. And yeah, it just looks quite nice. So let's go ahead and have a sleep to get out of this rain so I can continue to show the rest of it. I can see there's more buildings. As you can see, there's purples and reds and magentas. These guys are the clerics. Let's see, there's one guy in here with their little workstation here. The clerics are meant to represent the alchemist right here. This is the potion building. And I try to make it look kind of like wizardry and fantasy-like. Because, you know, why not? There's potions in here, make it nice and fun. Where I grow all of my nether wart, essential for brewing any type of potion, really. And let's go upstairs, where we have a nice view of everything. Quite beautiful. The Redstone building. If we go on the inside, this is the SemiAutomatic Brewery, which is pretty neat. This was quite a challenge to make. I'm not the best at Redstone, but I think I did okay. And so this is SemiAutomatic Brewery. We have everything labeled here, all of the different types of potion ingredients, all being fed into this little brewing stand. With some helpful tips here as part of the resource pack of vanilla tweaks here. It makes making potions so much more easy, so it'll have to reference the wiki every single time. But yeah, this isn't fully automatic, because fully automatic would... you would just press one button, and it would probably brew up a specific type of potion, and then automatically unload it. This one's semi-automatic. You gotta select your items in a particular order. And this is where I keep the nether wart. You know, how to make something a little bit janky for it to all work, but it turned out okay. I don't brew every type of potion. That would be a little bit too much work for me. I just have some little potions here and there. A lot of empty chests, as you can see. But let's go ahead and take a look at everything else. Here's the redstone building. I haven't been using much redstone on this world as compared to others, because I'm not very good at redstone. And also, I don't feel like it would be that thematically, fit that thematically because this is medieval, but, you know, why not? And I'm going more of the fantasy route, so I think they would use redstone. And so, this is where I keep a lot of my redstone. It's quite empty, as you can see, but I kept the ceiling open so I can fly right in there. Maybe showcase some certain redstone builds I'm going to be working on. But, as we can see, maybe it's getting dark. These are automatic lights. At night, we see these little redstone lamps. They close up all of the windows, and they're on when they close up, which I think is so cool. Have the daylight sensors that detect when it becomes night, and it does it automatically, which is quite neat. And let's go over here, show you some of my newer projects I've been working on. Oh man, I'm lost. Okay, there we are. So we have the florist, which I think is just gorgeous. I love the flowers that were added to Minecraft quite a while ago. I've been playing since before they've added all of these gorgeous flowers. And I just love them. It adds so much more detail. And I have all these little flower displays. And the outside, where all these flowers are, nice and gorgeous. But down here is the newest thing I've been working on. And it's my little bee island. My little bee world. I love it so much. This is my first time I've really been working with bees, and I'm just having a great time with it. So I've been harvesting a whole bunch of these beehives that I've been collecting over there, over on the other side of the map, which I'll show you in a second. Oh, hello bees. These guys are so large, but they're going over here to pollinate. So I've incorporated all of those little hives onto that mound with the honeycomb that I've harvested and the honey blocks. There are also some glowstone hidden there, as you can see, to give it some light so that no mobs and monsters spawn right there. And I just love it. And I'm going to populate this area with more bees as well. I'll make tiny little hives around here too. I have some man-made beehives over here. Really give this some character and texture. Still working on the terraforming aspect of it as well to make it more interesting. And we have a llama from the Wandering Trader over here. But yeah, I've never worked with bees before. And I'm trying to get a whole bunch of honeycomb so I can be able to make a lot of candles from the update that's going to be coming in just a few days. Now, when this video gets released, it will probably already be the update. And so the next video after this tour will be us playing with all of the new blocks and getting the new mobs from the update, which I think will be pretty cool. We have to fly out to the pyrotechnic. Try to make this a little bit more stone, because if you're going to be working with explosives, I think a non-flammable material will be a little bit more fitting. If we go upstairs, we can see this little workstation. Yeah, so much of it is a lot barren and empty, because I'm constantly updating and trying to change and tweak my style. So a lot of these areas are a little bit more empty than the newer stuff that I'm working on, that I have worked on, like the lumberyard way over there and the granary and bakery way over there. But yeah, I love the invisible item frames. Makes this workstation feel a little bit more interesting. I keep all of my rockets here. And if we go upstairs, I have some redstone for a firework display. Now, I don't think I have any fireworks in it. Let's see. I do not. But I'm trying to make a little fireworks show once I have this all populated. So let's take a little look at this castle region. Still have a lot of work to do, but as you can see, it's quite ambitious. So this is the entrance here with these large guard towers with some variation here. And all of them have a little staircase all the way up, but for ease of access, we have bubble elevators in all of them. So I think this is so cool. This is, you'll be able to get a good vantage point of everything, and I have this little glass pane in here so that you can be able to look out and defend the castle if anything happens, if any intruders come. Which, you know, is unlikely, but just thought it'd be a fun little detail. And, do I have to go all the way down? I do. Okay, let's walk all the way down. But let's take a look at these guard towers here. So we have these little slits here for bows and arrows, as you can see. Try to guard everything. But pretty much every area, every face is able to be guarded, which I think is really neat. Let's go all the way to the top. Oh. Alright, so this is the top area where we have a great view and vantage point. And I forgot what these things are called, where you actually step through and are able to shoot from them. But these things right here, I love these things. These things are called machiculations. Anyone who watches Shadiversary on YouTube probably just screamed that word in their head. To everyone else that doesn't know, I do apologize to be out of the loop. But definitely go look up Shadiversary. He makes very interesting medieval content. It talks about medieval things, why certain things were the way that they were in the medieval world, like the machiculations and the castle styles and what life was actually like back then. I think it's just so interesting. I referenced him a lot when I was building this area. But yeah, we have such a great view of the unfinished castle area. And with these towers, I can actually descend down quite easily. So I just go here, and I land on the waterlogged chest right there. Take no damage, just walk right out. Which is quite nice. Let's fly on the inside of this gargantuan building here. And then all the way up to the top. So this is where my bedroom is going to be sometime in the future. And it's going to have this massive balcony to overlook the entire castle with the circular area. I guess a lot of the roof of the rest of the castle there. And the spawn area. So this is actually spawn. So let's go down to spawn. This is where it is, this little path circle here. I'm still working on everything, but as you can see, I have this massive wall lining the spawn area, and I just love this little wall detail here. On the inside, it's quite nice too. But I tried to kind of stay away from just flat, straight planes and edges here. Really work with some depth and some curves and some elevation, and just give it just much more detail. Let's have a little sleep. Oh no. I didn't bring my bed. Oh no. Well, let's say hi to Squash. Hi, Squash. I have a lot of little dogs peppered throughout the entire kingdom with different collars with cute little food names to go with it. But let's take a look on the inside of this little wall area. If I can find an entrance. I haven't made one yet. Alright, now we're inside of the wall area, and I just love this. I made it large enough so that you can be able to ride a horse in here. So most of the paths and everything are large enough to be able to have horses. And if we take a little look at that thing, I don't know what I was going for, to be honest. Maybe just this large kind of platform. I think I saw the large castle area from the Lord of the Rings movies, Minas Tirith, I'm pretty sure. And that's kind of what inspired this shape, so this is going to extend all the way to the ground. So I didn't really have a plan for this building. I'm just kind of making it up as I go, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but you know, I like to challenge myself in that regard to see if I can make anything nice and interesting. But this wall is meant to line the entire edge of the kingdom eventually, but it takes quite some time to make it because, you know, this changes in elevation so much, has multiple little planes and everything, not very much flat edges, and in certain locations and in certain parts. Oh, I'm sorry, let me adjust my video settings here so it's not completely pitch black. I think that's much better. You know what, let's go 70. I play moody because I just like the atmosphere. Oh, hello. That's a little bit better for video. But on these areas, I want to create like dock areas. And maybe fortified walls. With some like actual battleships or navy ships or something of the sort. Sometime in the future, I think that'd be so cool. Hopefully we can, you know, really finish a lot of these buildings by the time I update this area. Oh, oh no. By the time I update this area for the 1.17 update. Or maybe a lot of it will just remain unfinished, which, you know, happens. You know, you can't finish every build on every Minecraft world, which is okay. You know, you gotta work on what's fun, and that's what allows you— oh my goodness. Oh no, these little fast ones. The little ones are so fast. Let's run over here. In safety. Okay, I'm gonna turn around and fight them. Alright, come at me. Where are you? There you go, got you. Alright, where's the other guy? Come here. Where'd you go? Did you fall? Oh, okay, goodbye. Let's get over on this side. And see, we're back full circle. Alright, I made this little natural bridge formation. You see, there was this kind of natural bridge that cut into the water that really blocked off these little water pools. I thought it was a neat little addition. It had some birch trees on there and some poppies. But I wanted to be able to make this area traversable with a boat and maybe add some boats like they're going down the river. So I just raised up that little landmass to kind of create a natural bridge formation, and I love it. It's a little worn with this little texturing, but I like it. And let's go down over to this fish market. It's a little dangerous out here, my goodness. So this is the upside down fishing boat that I created. This was quite a pain to make. Alright, and if we take a little look, there's some little water pools and some barrels to keep the fish, and we have live fish as well. So we have some salmon and some cod. These are the freshwater fish displays. And if we go back here, these are the tropical fish displays. I'm displaying a lot of different types of fish here. Of course, you can't display all types of fish. I think there is like, you know, 100 to 200 types of different little fish variants. So this is just majority of them. And yeah, I like that you can actually get tropical fish in buckets. I don't know where they are or where I keep them. Alright, let's take a look at our little garden walk. This is just purely for aesthetic, but I love it. So this is actually the very first time I tried out texturing in Minecraft, and I just love it. It gives this nice roughness to the path, and adding these little lamp of details, and it just looks so nice. Some little docks area over there as well. Some hidden lighting. See, no torches over here, and that just looks beautiful. Oh, so we got some some Endermen looking to contribute to the layout of here. Thank you. Little bamboo area, some benches and everything. But yeah, I just love these little details I was able to make. And it's just nice to kind of break up the monotony of having to go collect your resources when you're trying to work on something just purely for aesthetic. Looks like this area isn't safe too. I gotta put some sea pickles to stop the spawning happening. And over here we do get a great view of the cathedral as well with this little area. Look at that. This little sitting area. It's gorgeous with the view of the cathedral. This little pool was here naturally. A lot of these flowers were here naturally. So I really try to preserve the natural look and beauty of this area when I created the garden walk. The bees will be the very last thing I'll be showing you. But if we go over here, we can see another stables that I have. You know, this is supposed to be a rare occurrence, but it happens often enough. I had to build them their own stables. As you can see, these are my skeletal horse stables, and I'm excited. Oh, wait. Oh, yes, there we are. I thought there was a glitch where these signs wouldn't appear, but as we can see, they are. I just haven't named these guys yet. But these are all of my skeletal horses I'm so excited to have. These are so cool. Man, what scary noises that they make. But how you get these guys is during thunderstorms. It will spawn a skeletal horse, and either during the storm or after the storm, if you approach one of them, they get zapped by lightning. I think this only happens in hard difficulty, but they get zapped by lightning and it spawns the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. It's these 4 skeletal horses with skeletons riding on their backs, and they have iron helmets on to prevent them from burning up. I think they're the only hostile mobs that spawn with iron armor. But no, I've tried to name these guys from Apocalypse and Horsemen in any type of lore, like mythology and such, so that's where they get a lot of their names. And I keep some saddles in here as backup too. But I think those guys are just so cool. And now for the very final thing here, we are going to check out the place where I spawned the bees. Let's just look at his build for a second. Oh, it's gorgeous. Quite ambitious. Oh, goodness. Quite ambitious planning from a newer Minecrafter, but I love the detail. Everyone has their own unique build and style. Where am I going? Oh, I'm going over here. To where all of the bees spawn. Oh, hello. There's so many bees over here. But, yeah, so this is where I spawned all of the bees by growing these birch trees and these oak trees over and over and over again, and only keeping the ones that have the hives that spawn with them. So, I've been getting the honeycomb from the hives and creating these bee nests and replacing them out. So that's how I'm able to get all of these bee hives. Because I've been spawning them over and over. Now you have to make sure you have enough flowers everywhere to be able to get the bees spawned on the trees. But as you can see, I've done this for quite some time. The grind never stops to be able to get all these bees. But I just love these bees. They're an amazing little detail. They're so fun to have. And another thing I would like to do in the future is to get enough bees to be able to fight a wither boss with only bees. I just think that'd be so cool. I saw it on a YouTube video of interesting things to do, and yeah, why not? Be able to get the wither star from the wither with bees. Also, as an added bonus, any bees that die from the exploding wither heads, they'll give me some wither roses. I don't have any currently, so that'll be nice to have. But yeah, I'm excited to get also more honey as well, and some honeycombs for the new candles that will add so much more detail to this world. But I think that is everything I have to show you, and that's all I have time for today. I want to thank everyone for tuning into this very first episode. Please leave me feedback in the comments of what you like, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see as well. Thank you so much for seeing me. My name is Dr. Banana PhD, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the future. Goodbye!